Hey, what's happening, gamers? How's everybody doing? Welcome to a special presentation of LEGO Batman 2 DC Superheroes as part of the road to LEGO Batman 4. Hopefully you guys having a good one, and you're ready for whatever else we're doing in this today. I think we're just doing free roam, I believe. So like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're not receiving our videos, you can always sign up for our free newsletter over on KwingsLetsPlays.com. It's KwingsLetsPlays.com. You can sign up for the free newsletter and find out what's happening every single day. MailChimp was having problems today?
Yeah.
It's not good.
None of the pictures were showing.
None of the pictures were showing, so it was doing that thing again. Okay, fun. Whoa, 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 we don't want that. So our newsletter didn't work today. Well, that's fun. April 15th. It says it sent it. Today's the 15th, right? Yeah. So the newsletter was sent. But the pictures didn't work. Okay. Weird. Well, I'll have to look into that later. But at least the newsletter did go out. So the newsletter went out, but the pictures got all messed up somehow. That's great. Linky, what is it, buddy? Okay. Linky, what's going on? Okay. Alright, so we did Amusement Mile yesterday. Let's see, where are we going today? There's nothing really at the theater district, so we're not going to do that. The Yacht Club. Metro Station. Gotham Funland. So we did Gotham Funland. Sorry, not Amusement Mile. It is Amusement Mile. Gotham Funland Amusement Mile. Hello, Link. We're gonna do the gardens. You wanna come up? Hmm? You can come up, hang out. Okay. Alright, there he is. Hey, big guy. Hi. Okay. Gotta lie down there, buddy. So immediately following this stream, guys, there will be Ultimate Selects on Viva Pinata for Bobbert. And yes, I know all about the character reveals for LEGO Batman 4. Gotham by Gaslight, Zur-En-Ah, Absolute Batman. Did I say Gotham by Gaslight? What was the other one? Oh yeah, Batman Ninja. Actually, let me see. How am I doing on my list of most wanted costumes? I think it's actually in this video. Like, it should be in the description. It should say most wanted stuff was. So I'm curious now. I said Beyond, Beware, Justice League, Hush, Kingdom Come, 70s, Frank Miller, New 52, DC Rebirth, Nightfall, Long Halloween, Young Justice, Gotham by Gaslight, Batman Unlimited, Lego Batman 1, Arkham Batman, Telltale Batman, 2025 Batsuit, Injustice, Batman INC, Year 1, Earth 2, Flashpoint, Absolute, Death Metal, New DCU, The Batman 04, New Adventures, and that's it. So that was, out of my list, I've been not that right. Because I didn't have Batman Ninja on my bingo card. But I did have Gotham by Gaslight and Absolute, so hooray. Gotham by Gaslight is a very popular comic that seems to keep ending up in Batman costumes in most of his games. Most games that allow for Batman additional skins and costumes get Gotham by Gaslight, because it was a very, very popular comic, and I believe it was 1989. Either 1989 or 1990. Victorian era Batman. And it's had a couple sequels too, I believe. What about Dark Knight of the Round Batman? I mean, I like him in the... What do you call it? I like him in the Arkham Origins game, but I don't... Knight of the Round Batman hasn't appeared in many games outside of Arkham. Gotham by Gaslight's appeared in a couple. I think he's in DC Universe. He's in that weird... Do you guys remember that, that DC superhero game that Outright Games asked me to cover? It was on the Switch, and it had, like, I think Diedrich Bader was playing Batman or something in it. I don't remember. It was a kind of a top-down, very cartoony Justice League game. And Outright Games, not Warner Brothers, contacted me and said, hey, do you want to look at this for Switch? I was like, a Justice League game? Oh, wow. I didn't know one was coming out. And then I played it, and I was like, oh, it was made for little people, little kids, and it really wasn't that good. But they had a plethora of Batman costumes in that, and I believe Gotham by Gaslight was in that game as well. Even though, in hindsight, looking back on that game, it was very hard to tell what costume Batman was wearing in that game, outside of going to the pause menu that had a list with the comic book next to it, which was kind of cool, I guess. But the only costume that you could really see prominently was Batman 89, and I think the DC Rebirth was in it, so Batman had like a purple cape and stuff like that. There's nothing inside the Botanical Gardens? That can't be right. Has to be something inside the Botanical Garden. Really need to find a, not mini kit. They don't have a gold brick finder in this game, do they? Well, if you guys happen to remember any, gold bricks, let me know. If not, I'm just gonna wander around aimlessly and free roam, and if we run into stuff, we run into stuff, right? Yeah. Pretty much. Bye-bye. I definitely thought there was stuff inside of here, though. I guess not. Yoink. Yeah. Were you mad when they brought back Clooney? I kind of knew they would do that because they wanted to focus on all the movie Batman. Ben Affleck, you're gonna get, from what I've heard, it's the armored suit, the BVS suit, and the BVS Batmobile. So you get 3 Affleck things, but you're not... I don't think you're getting a level based on Affleck. You're getting a story based on Clooney, story based on Val Kilmer, a couple stories based on Keaton's Batman, a big story based on Arkham Asylum. So the Arkham Asylum video game is basically getting a big, I don't know if it's like a 2-chapter arc, but it's, all I've heard is it's big. So you've got 89 a couple times, plus Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises. And then you get The Batman. Like, there's some The Batman movie stuff in the game. There is a couple comic book arcs, and I believe one story based on Batman the Animated Series. Or, like, a tribute of it, and that's it. So, no... Unless they do DLC, which I don't think they are. So, the story is... That also means that Two-Face is responsible for killing Robin's parents again. So that's a big boo, but oh well. Batman Forever was not that bad of a movie. It was actually pretty good. I just didn't like that they had Two-Face. They basically pulled a Joker. It was like, haha, you remember how Joker killed Batman's parents in Batman 89? What if another famous Batman villain killed Robin's parents? Yaha. So, I mean, that was a very amateur move. But, I mean, it's Hollywood, baby. Hollywood is... They don't do their research, right? Why would Hollywood do research? That's not going to happen. There's nothing inside the botanical garden. That's weird. I could swear there'd be like a gold brick or something or a puzzle in here, but nope, there's nothing in here. Weird. I really thought that was going to be a thing. Well. Oh well. Shadow passed away in 2020. Shadow was a Russian blue, and Shadow had, she had, most Russian blues have heart problems. So Shadow had heart disease, but Shadow died of a, I did an autopsy on Shadow. Shadow died of a, she had a parasite in her stomach. So they couldn't get the parasite out, and Shadow became anemic, and she died. And Tink had heart failure. Shadow had like something with her stomach, and then Zelda had something with her digestion, which would be stomach and her intestines or something. And Link just has mouth problems. He has dental issues. Excuse me. Well, there was nothing here in the botanical garden. That's upsetting. Alright, we're gonna go somewhere else. They might do the Mystery of Batwoman in the Lego Batman game? I don't know. I don't see why they would. I think they're doing a combination of, like, the Batgirl Year 1 comic and the Shadow of the Batman animated series thing for Batgirl. I think. But I won't know until I get hands on the game and we, you know, actually get to that point. Oops. Oh, okay, it worked anyway. Yeah. Batman Return of the Joker game? Maybe, because Batman Return of the Joker... Don't they have an NES Batman skin in... Or was that an April Fool's Day joke? Does anybody know? Was the NES Batman skin that they revealed for Lego Batman 4. Was that a April Fool's joke? I can't remember. It's real? Wow. Okay, there you go. All right. Oh, that's not nice. Cam Clark, ladies and gentlemen. Cam Clark. Okay, so we're gonna go gold brick hunting. That's the plan. And we never got Alfred, so we need to get Alfred. Alfred was one of the first characters we got in our original series. Alfred is located at Wayne Manor. Which is this way. Well, wait, no, is this the Wayne Manor, or does this go to... Yeah, this is Wayne Manor. I was gonna say, this doesn't go to the Botanical Garden. Oh, what? No, no, no. No, 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 no. There's a bunch of stuff to do at Wayne Manor. I think. This is Alfred. Yeah! One more thing, sir. Alfred, you're expensive, guy. Okay, where'd Alfred go? Alfred is at the very bottom. Alright, instead of the dynamic duo, we got Alfred serving up some justice. Yeah! Okay. So we're gonna play with Alfred a little bit. Whoops. I thought you could do something at the top of Wayne Manor. Guess I'll have to fly up there. I can't go inside Wayne Manor. No. Okay. Right, something to do on the top of Wayne Manor. I think there's a few puzzles. But wasn't there a way for non-flyer characters to get up to stately Wayne Manor? Okay. I guess I have to have a flyer. Alright. Batman, you become Superman. There we go. Huh. Am I confusing this with... Oh! Now I understand. I'm thinking, wow, there's more to do at Wayne Manor. It's because I'm thinking of Lego DC Supervillains. Lego DC Supervillains had more stuff to do at Wayne Manor than Lego Batman 2 does. Lego Batman 2 has Alfred and maybe one gold brick. Maybe. But I'm not... I can't recall if that's the case. Hello, Linky. Nope, I'm not seeing a gold brick up here unless I already got it. Let's try over here. Nope. Yeah, sorry guys, I have a lot on my mind. I got a haircut today. Did that bounce open? That bounce? Sometimes things bounce up and down, and it's like, oh, I just need to hit that. And then it reveals a gold brick, but no gold brick. Nope, nothing. Well, I was hoping there was a gold brick here. That's disappointing. It's all of Wayne Manor. Wow. I guess that's that. Okay, well, I guess I was remembering it wrong. Inside the Batcave? I don't think there's one inside of the Batcave. Whoops. Oh, you can fly in there. Stop that. Huh? Why can't Superman fly through the Batcave? That's the Batboat entrance. What? Why? Really? I've never seen that. I thought you could fly right through it. It's water. You can fly right through the water. Come on. That's not kryptonite water. What are you doing, Superman? Ah. Weird. Weird. I had a mullet. Actually, you know what? I refuse to say that. I had long hair. I had hair down to past my shoulders. And I was rocking a ponytail for the past, like, not a man bun. I was rocking like a Nightwing achy breaky heart ponytail. With my hair slicked back for like 3 months. And we were out today and I was like, huh. Maybe I should get a haircut. And Amber was like, yeah, you should get a haircut today. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a haircut then. And I got a haircut, so. And then I was like, Amber showed me a picture of me going to a wedding. And I was like, huh, my hair kind of looks like it did in high school or college. It was like, we can go with that. And Amber's like, yeah, see if you can get your hair to look like that. I was like, okay. So I talked to the barber. I was like, hey, can you get my hair to look like this? It's very, like, 2000s-ish. And she's like, yeah, sure. She says, you really want that? I said, well, yeah, I mean, you know, just professional-looking haircut, but professional-looking haircut from the year 2000. And now, I was looking at my wedding photos and my haircut now. I have a similar haircut now to my wedding photos. I was like, whoa, that's freaky. And there's not much difference between how I look compared to then. If anything, I lost more weight than I did. I married Amber, I was 185 pounds. I'm like 158 pounds right now because, you know, the heart stuff. Which, I'm surprised my doctor didn't tell me, hey, you need to bulk up more, but I guess they're not concerned about it right now. They haven't brought up, like, you know... Because last time I went to the doctor, I was like 160... 165. That means I lost 5 pounds in the past, like, 3 months somehow. I don't know. Or 10 pounds. It was 5 or 10 pounds. So... That's not good. I think it's because of stress. I mean, but think about what's been going on the past 3 months. We get evicted from our apartment. We get, have to find a place to live. We lose members. What else happened? I don't think, other than... Oh, yeah, YouTube changed how streaming works, so streaming takes way longer to get views now. So, yeah, a lot of stress. Tremendous amount of stress. Easily. Who's that? Oh, this is... I don't really need to do all this stuff as Superman, though. I can just, like... There's no reason to. I could just fly there. Alright, whatever. Just do this. No, where's Alfred? Where's Alfred? Alfred! Oh, that's right. I can turn in Alfred. We'll do this as Alfred. Why not? One more thing, sir. One more thing. Alfred to the rescue! Or not. Well, how would they expect... I mean, what's the point of that? I can just be a flyer character and just go there. Okay. Oh no! There's an obstacle in my path. Whatever will I do? Fly over it? There you go. When in doubt, cheat. What's this? Who's this? Who's this? Lois Lane? Why would I want Lois Lane? I'll get Lois Lane. Yeah, but I wouldn't lose that much weight overnight. Whoops. What kind of stuff does Alfred even do? Alfred, what do you do? Uh-huh. Alright, Al, you're up. No, Lois, you're up. You got this, Lois. It's all you, Lois. Yeah. Well, that's not cool. Wait, Batman, I was supposed to get a Batman thing because are there any characters that turn invisible? Martian Manhunter. I don't remember how to unlock Martian Manhunter in this. How old was I when I married Amber? 23? Wait, was I? Wait, how old am I now? Am I 43 or 44? I don't know. Whatever age I was... I mean, whatever age I am now, that's what age I was when I got married. Because my 20th anniversary is next month. Not next month. Sorry. My 20th anniversary is in June. So whatever age I am now is what age I was then. I might be 44. I don't know. I don't feel 44. Maybe I am. Do I think they'll make a new Batman game that's not Lego? Eventually. I wouldn't expect it to release until 2028 or 2029. Isn't that important to know how old you are? Nah, I don't care. I forget. I don't lose any sleep on it. I don't really sleep well at all anyway, though. Ever since I had those heart issues, I don't sleep well. Amber even told me, go upstairs and have a nap tonight. I don't even remember if I got any sleep. I was resting. The doctor says it's better than nothing. Like, you know, sleeping with your... or lying down with your eyes closed. But I was conscious, so... but I slept last night. Like, I slept from 4 until, like, 9 in the morning. Something like that. It's not that much sleep, but I'll try to sleep tonight. Hello, Link. Oh, okay, that's easy. So then we'll just go back as Batman. We just stay incognito. There you go. And just walk up and grab the brick, no problem. And boom. There we go. Oh, surprise! We have 80 bricks. I didn't even know that. Oh, there we go. Well, we definitely don't have enough to get Martian Manhunter. He's probably wicked expensive. You said he's on top of the Luthor building? Luthor building? Oh. Alright, so we got a Robin puzzle over here. Excuse me, by the way. I'm just... all kinds of gross tonight. Hello, Alfred. You want to hang with Robin? Oh. Beat it, Cam Clark. That's what you get. Still? Oof. What I liked about Lego Batman 2, though, was their clever way of doing, climbing up buildings and stuff like that, using Batman and Robin's signature abilities that you collected in the game. They really, you know, changed up how you did free roaming, but, at the same time, they didn't think that, you know, once Superman was in the game, you just use Superman to do everything. So, yeah. There's that. And once everyone is super, then no one is. Oh. Bless you, what's going on? Lift your head up. There you go, buddy. Oh no. Okay, get the brick. There you go. Yeah, I know. I just haven't released a video or short about it yet. Might get around to it, might not. I don't know. Hey, little guy. We still have to get you your vet appointment. Batman Ninja is a deep cut pick. I mean, I still would prefer some of my suits that I wanted, but oh well. Absolute Batman was a no-brainer based on how well that alternate universe is doing.
One more thing, sir.
So did Prime Batman defeat Absolute Batman yet? Weren't they squaring off or something? Like, the Absolute Universe is, like, an evil universe that is created by Darkseid or something. And there was a comic book where Absolute and Prime Batman were gonna fight or something. Did that ever come to a conclusion yet, or that's later this year or something? Was there anything else to do over here? That tree looks suspicious. Okay. Why would you beat up... I'm a villain. Why would you attack me if I'm a villain? The game doesn't recognize who you're playing as, that's why. Alfred, serve up some justice. There you go. Service with a smile. These sus trees better do something. Wait, are they just ugly trees for the sake of being ugly? They don't have any actual purpose? Really? Huh. I thought they would have hidden a gold brick in there or something. There's no point to it. Other than just saying, hey, I beat up a Lego tree. Good for me. Huh. Nope. Wow. Weird. Wait, was that bouncing? No, I made it bounce. Quit clowning around. Have I not seen The Penguin yet? I don't have HBO Max. When it comes to Blu-ray, I'll probably pick it up, or DVD. Wait, is DVD still a thing? Oh wait, HBO Max isn't going to be around much longer, or what? I don't know. Well, if it comes to a streaming service that I have, like Netflix or Amazon or something, I'll watch it. But I could probably just buy episodes for it. I don't know. When we actually get close to having the Batman Part 2 come out, I'll watch The Penguin so I can get caught up on the Batman Part 2. But until then, I don't really have any interest in watching it. No offense. But as we get closer to the Batman Part 2 movie, then obviously I'll have to watch the Penguin show in order to get caught up on the lore, because I'm sure that'll have some type of connection to the Batman Part 2. So rather than be in the dark and be in the theater like, I don't know what's going on, I'll watch the Penguin show so I have an idea of what's happening. That makes the most sense. You know, research. Ah! Okay, so we need to become more than just a man. We need to become a demolition man. Thank you for the super chat. I'm just full of references today. Penguin is out on Blu-ray and DVD. Okay, cool. I'll be keeping an eye out for it then. I'm not going to be buying anything outside of games until we're settled in our new place. That's kind of funny. Riddler guy was like, Batman! Batman punches him. That's funny. That's literally slapstick. Batman! Batman punches him in the face. Okay. Oh my gosh, Freakazoid. How's it going? He's here to save the nation, so stay tuned to this station. If not, we'll be unemployed. Freakazoid, Freakazoid, Freakazoid. One of the greatest animated comedies of all time is Freakazoid. Changed my mind. And it was targeted for adults, not kids. Because the Freakazoid humor did not make sense for kids. Either that or 90s kids were just super smart. I don't know. We had a lot of highbrow humor, as they call it. Pinky and the Brain. Animaniacs had a lot of sarcasm and witty banter. Freakazoid had a ton of witty banter and sarcasm and stuff like that. Sarcasm is a lost art. What else? The Tick. The Tick was also made for adults. How that managed to be a show on Fox Kids, I'll never know. But The Tick was great. It's like the mid-90s, all the 90s kids got like super intelligent with sarcasm and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, Freakazoid was canceled too soon because it did really great in the ratings, but its last season struggled a little bit. I think it's because, like, wasn't that the year that Cartoon Network started to dominate, like, the ratings? Hold up. Oh, 1997? Okay. So what killed Freakazoid was probably Toonami. Freakazoid had a great, like, split first season from, like, 1995 through 1996. Season 2 was in 1997. It wasn't that long. And Kids WB really struggled with ratings because of Cartoon Network's Toonami, which launched spring of 1997. And I've talked about this before, but the reason why Toonami was such a powerhouse for ratings is most television shows back then, and it was back then, it was over 30-something years ago. So what they used to do was, Toonami would be like, okay, after a show finished airing, instead of reruns, unless it was super popular, like Dragon Ball Z or Thundercats or something, they kept both Dragon Ball Z and Thundercats in rotation, pretty much. But what they would do, as soon as a show finished airing, they would announce, hey, taking Thundercats' time slot will now be Robotech, or taking Robotech's time slot will now be Gundam. So they constantly had new stuff all year round. Whereas most TV back then, you would have Batman the Animated Series, like new episodes in the fall, and then it would stop in the spring. And then you would have reruns until the fall. They would keep it on the air, and they would, you know, depending on how long the show has been on the air, it would have a bunch of reruns. Cartoon Network didn't do that, not with Toonami. Once a show finished, they replaced it with another show, and they kept the cycle going, where people were like, oh, wow, there's something new to watch on Cartoon Network, whereas the other guys, you know, the other guys couldn't hack that because they already paid the license to air things like Batman the Animated Series and Superman and Power Rangers and all that other stuff, so they had to do the rerun thing. Toonami didn't have to do that. They wrapped up a show, they started another one. It kept people's interest and kept people glued to their seats on Cartoon Network, as well as it introduced an entire generation of kids to anime. So Freakazoid and some of the other cartoon shows that got canceled in 1997, they couldn't compete with Cartoon Network. And they eventually did bring Freakazoid to Cartoon Network, but by the time they did, the studio that made it was unemployed. Just like the show, they said, if you don't watch, we'll be unemployed. Highbrow humor, ladies and gentlemen. So, ratings were super, super important, but Freakazoid didn't get ratings in the last year. I have the entire thing of Freakazoid on DVD, though. It's fantastic. It's super funny. Most of my jokes on early YouTube all came from Freakazoid. Like, no lie. I did the Relaxovision joke a lot, and people were like, what is Relaxovision? And when people would ask that, it's like, you don't know what Relaxovision is? That's funny. That's cute. So I would keep doing that joke, and some kids on YouTube grew up thinking that I was the originator of Relaxovision. It's kind of funny. Years later, they come back, they're like, wait a second! You didn't invent Relaxovision. I never said I did. I just used it. I never once said, yeah, I made Relaxovision. That was a gag I came up with. No. I just used that gag because it was funny and because copyright, like, wasn't a big deal back then. So I could get away with, like, using a blurb of something for, like, 30 seconds. Although what's funny is all those videos that used Relaxovision, they're all claimed by Warner Brothers now, obviously. But back then they weren't. Now they are. And so I'm glad I didn't use Relaxovision in too many videos, because I've had some non-Warner Brothers videos get claimed because of, like, the da-da-da-da-da. Not only do the classical composer people come after me, but Warner Brothers is like, wait a minute, that's our footage. How did you get this? Why are you using this? I plead the fifth. I don't know. I still think it's stupid that YouTube holds you accountable for, like, you know, copyright stuff that you have no control over because the laws were different when those videos were made. Just like, I think it's stupid that they give copyright strikes to people for content that people were clearly, you know, legally safe to use. And then 10, 15 years later, they're like, aha, the laws have changed now. But it's like, but you couldn't have foreseen that when you made the video. And you're holding people accountable for something that they were within their legal right to do back then. You shouldn't, like, go after copyright strikes on older videos. Like, you should see if the YouTuber's breaking the rules now and then go after their new content and be like, aha, you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Of course, I don't do that, but my old content, yeah. Because everybody did. Because YouTube said, hey, you can use like a minute or you can use like 30 seconds of footage in your video. We encourage this. Now YouTube's like, aha! You're doing something you're not supposed to, and we're gonna get you. And it's like, really? Okay. But that's what I would do. If I had like a high position at YouTube, it'd be like one of the things that I would run on to get the job. I will not be going after YouTubers for content ID or copyright strikes for any video that they made prior to this law being a thing. Because there's no way that they can change the video. Or if there is a problem, instead of giving them a copyright strike, we'll just erase their video. Because there's no way that they could change a video that they made 10 or 15 years ago. It's impossible. I would be the people's person. Because, you know, I know what that's like too. Thankfully, most of my copyright strikes I get resolved because, you know, a lot more people have common sense now on you know, that work for companies. Like what happened with Naruto. The Naruto people, Bandai totally understood. They were like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. There's no way that you could change this because when you made this video, you were actually within your legal right to do it. So we're gonna, you know, we're gonna remove the strike. And they wanted to remove the strike right away. But YouTube was, like, twiddling their thumbs, and YouTube took forever to remove that copyright strike for Naruto. I think it took them at least a week. And I heard back from, after Amber made that, like, legal letter, which she did a great job writing that thing. I can't write legal letters like that. But after she wrote that letter, things changed quite a bit. And I was able to get a hold of the legal department over at Namco. And we got that all straightened out. But YouTube, they were dragging their feet, man. Because I have the email where Bandai says, hey, please remove this strike here. And, or, sorry, Viz Media and Bandai. They're like, please remove this strike and make sure the channel's in good standing. Like, they had that written right away. And YouTube just kind of like, oh, well, we got stuff about this. Huh. Okay, we'll get around to it. And that's what happened. Like, so the copyright strike was there for quite a while. I don't know how to do this part. Interesting. Can Batman even wall jump in this? Wait, is that gold? What is that? Where's Alfred? That might be gold on top of the roof. I don't know. Nope. You need a bridge? You don't need stealth? How do I make a bridge? And it looks like I need stealth to open that door. I don't know how to... Oh, I see now. So, stealth off. Okay, stealth on. Wax on, wax off. Da-da-da-da-da. Alfred, you should climb up this. Alfred! I'll have to do Angry Birds tomorrow. I can't do it tonight. I have an ultimate tonight. Oh, that's just mean. Oh. Oh, come on. Now that's done. Now we need to do stealth again. No, that's okay, Spider Keith. How you doing, buddy? Hmm. I mean, there's a building over there. Whoops. Nope, doesn't look like anything's here. Okay. Alright, so we now have 84 of 250 gold bricks. How did they manage to fit so many gold bricks in this city? Welp. Metro Station. One more thing, sir. Oh! Don't worry, I know the perfect guy to save you. Don't worry, I'm going to help you. Because that's what I do, I help people. Now chill. That's not very nice. There was nothing chill about those birds. Ha! If anything, I would say these birds definitely flew the coop. Okay, yeah, that was a bad joke. Metro City. Whoops! No, I was just there. Do I miss hearing Kevin in new Batman projects? Of course. I grew up with him. I heard Kevin's voice as Batman for like most of my childhood, my high school years, college, married years, my time as a game journalist, starting on YouTube, becoming a streamer. He died when I started doing streaming. Oh no, when I was mostly a streamer is when he died. Because I became a full-time streamer in like 2017, 2017. I started streaming in 2014 on Twitch and Hitbox. I really started to do more streaming by 2015. Because it used to be easier to stream than do uploads. Now I don't know. Now I can't tell you because I don't know. People ask me all the time. It's like, what's easier, streaming or uploads? I don't know. Oh, there is a gold brick here. Okay. Wow. They're gonna make us jump through all these hoops. We have to find the starting point. Fly back to the starting point. What's this? I do have 85. Oh. Yelling at the game. I have 85. Oh, yeah. I need 150. Oof. Whoops. That was a dyslexic moment. Alright, Robin. Need you to be Mr. Acrobat. No. No. No, I don't want to buy you again. I bought you anyway. Two-Face Goon acquired. Hooray. You think Mark will never be Joker again? Never say never. Just like right now, he's saying, I'll never play Luke Skywalker again. When the money dries up, he'll do whatever role he can get. And he's not a high-in-demand actor right now, either. If he doesn't take the jobs, he's not going to get the jobs. But most people don't like Mark Hamill anymore because he just won't shut up. Mark Hamill's become so insufferable that it's like... I looked up to the guy when I was a kid. He's nothing like Luke Skywalker at all. You know what? Actually, I take that back. Mark Hamill is nothing like Luke Skywalker from the 80s and the 90s and the books and the video games. He's like... Mark Hamill's like his character in the Disney sequels. He grew up to be a bum. But he's nothing like the Luke Skywalker that most of us love, which is sad. Oh well. Because Mark Hamill is just a hopeless guy. He's just an angry grump, like, all the time. And when Mark Hamill was younger, he was very optimistic and bright and... oh, crap. Very much like his character, Luke Skywalker. And Disney messed him up so bad that he became, just like... I'm wondering if Rian Johnson based Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker based on Mark Hamill's, like, Twitter profile, like, Twitter footprint. Because Mark Hamill's been acting crazy on Twitter for, like, 15 years. So... Rian Johnson was probably like, I am making Luke Skywalker in character to Mark Hamill. Oh, I was supposed to make him like Luke Skywalker. Oh, my bad. I just took grumpy Mark Hamill and I put him in a movie exactly how he is in real life. Because that's how Mark is. He's more chill and laid back when he plays the Joker. Old man Luke, get off my lawn. I'm gonna have a lawn soon in New York, so I could actually get away with that. Oops. Alright, so I'm up here now. I came down here. You didn't like that they ruined Luke's character? I know. You and I are in the same boat. I was a lifelong Luke Skywalker fan. I'm not a fan of Jake Skywalker. I think Jake Skywalker is a very fitting name because there is nothing at all redeemable about Mark Hamill's portrayal of Luke again outside of The Mandalorian Season 2. The Mandalorian Season 2 and The Book of Boba, which I don't think... Did he reprise his role in The Book of Boba too, or was it somebody else? Luke's portrayal in The Mandalorian and The Book of Boba is good. Very good. Luke's portrayal in the Disney movies, bad. But I have a feeling we're going to see Luke Skywalker again. I just don't know who's going to play him. Because we have, we actually have a Star Wars fan in charge of Star Wars, which, I mean, the dude who was behind The Mandalorian and the Clone Wars and stuff like that, that's the guy you want leading the ship, you know? That's a good idea. Why didn't they do that before? Why didn't they take somebody who was actually a fan and be like, okay, you're in charge of this. Make cool stuff. Instead, they gave the Star Wars, all of Star Wars, and not just Star Wars, they gave all of Lucas, including Indiana Jones and everything that George Lucas had, they gave it to Kathleen Kennedy. And she had an axe to grind. I don't know what was wrong with that woman, but she just wanted to make it her mission in life to destroy everything that George Lucas created. Maybe he said no to her advances when she was an intern or something. I have no idea. She really felt like she was burning down LucasArts. It was weird. Because, I mean, it's one thing for executives to make mistakes and stuff like that, but to continue to make mistakes over and over again, like, it had to be done on purpose. I don't think that she was, like, a stumbling idiot at all. I think that she was, like, a vengeful ex-girlfriend. Just destroying the brand. Meticulously. I don't believe that she was just, like, some clueless CEO that had no idea what she was doing. She made too many calculated strikes for it to be just kind of like, oh, it's just a coincidence that this franchise ended up, like, bombing and this and that. It's like, no, that takes skill. I don't buy the whole Pink Panther idiot savant thing. That was planned and executed. Huh. He's basically George Lucas's apprentice. Yeah, that's what I've heard. You like Dial of Destiny even though the film's not good? I mean, I like aspects of the Crystal Skull, but that movie's not good either. Nothing beats the original 3 Indiana Jones films. Actually, I would watch Young Indiana Jones and over the Crystal Skull or the Dial of Destiny. Dial of Destiny felt like Lucas shot the fans, like Lucasfilm. You know, like when old Indy gets shot in the movie? That's what it felt like for all the fans watching it. We also got shot. And just looking at the train wreck that was that movie. And the only thing that we can be happy about is it failed and they killed that horrible idea of giving that woman her own Indiana Jones spin-off show. Basically making female Indiana Jones. So, the movie failing was a blessing in disguise because we actually got some people that cared about the Indiana Jones franchise to make something cool, which was the Indiana Jones video game. So, it wasn't all bad. If the Dial of Destiny hadn't failed, we wouldn't have gotten the Great Circle. So, it balances itself out. And because the Great Circle did so well, we're going to get more Indiana Jones games now. And as long as they keep to that same quality, Indiana Jones fans, at least on the video game front, will be eating very well. So. And I really like the Great Circle, so. You feel that AI takes away the human element? Yeah, AI is like building a website and putting in code. You can do some pretty cool stuff with AI, but it's, you know, much different than coming up with how instruments sound and stuff like that. You're like a programmer. And depending on how you program stuff, you can make AI really cool, but, you know. Hey, Link, where'd you go? Where'd that little pest go? You don't understand why WB killed the Arkham brand? Oh, we've had this discussion. WB killed the Arkham brand because basically they were banking on the success of movies. They were trying desperately to tie their video games into success of films. And when the films didn't do what they wanted, they expected Batman v Superman to make like $1 billion. And then they were going to release a new Batman game based on Batman Beyond. When that didn't pan out, and Ben Affleck's Batman movie didn't happen, that was the end of the Arkham franchise, pretty much. And then the industry got, like, had a bunch of cockroaches, which we call game activists, basically, you know, roached their way into the industry and got into some key franchises that fans loved and then systematically destroyed them. And they did try to systematically destroy the Arkham games. They put stuff in there that was a direct attack on longtime Arkham fans. They called us all misogynistics. They called us gooners. They said all Arkham fans are toxic. And this stuff was all in the banter of the game. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, would you, as a longtime fan of the Arkham games, want to support a company that's punching down on you? I don't think so. There's, like, tongue-in-cheek, like, you know, poking fun, like the way that Traveler's Tales does. And then there's just mean-spirited jackassness that Rocksteady did. So, I mean, who would you much rather support? A fun company like Traveler's Tales? Or you want to work with a jackass like Rocksteady? I'd much rather go with the fun company, personally. So, Rocksteady was basically telling their fan base, or at least their employees, and you have to remember, your employees are a representative of your company. I don't like this nonsense where these people go and they say, oh, my opinion's my own. It's like, no, dumbass, you're represented by Rocksteady. You can't say whatever you want. You know, this reflects your employer as well as you're saying all this stuff online under your company's account. So yes, all that stuff did look like it came from Rocksteady employees and stuff like that. That's a no-no. But yet, you know, they were like, no, it doesn't matter. We can say whatever we want because it's our Twitter, it's our opinion. We just happen to work for Rocksteady and we implemented all this stuff in the game. Cry, chuds. So yeah, I still hope Rocksteady crashes and burns because they're not the same company anymore. Huh. For the life of me, I can't think of... And maybe that'll change. Maybe Lego Batman 4, they're going to make fun of long-term fans of the Lego Batman franchise. But I don't think they're going to because they include Lego Batman 1 stuff. They have Lego Batman 1 skins in Lego Batman 4. So they're honoring the legacy of what came before it. Whereas Rocksteady and Rocksteady's new hires were punching down on all the stuff that came before it and was trying to act like their trash game was better than some of the peak Arkham games of all time. To say they were delusional is being polite. Oh, I could just be Cyborg here. I don't need to be Robin. I don't need to be Robin, be Cyborg. There we go. Because I'm Cyborg. Whoops. Oh yeah, I had a heart attack last year. I swear sometimes now, so... Well, I mean, I've always sworn offline, but... I swear online sometimes. Some of you haven't been here for a while. I had a heart attack in July last year, so... I was one of the first people to call out the unprofessional stuff of Rocksteady. Oh yeah, I fought with a bunch of Rocksteady employees during development of whatchamacallit? Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Yep, I got in a lot of Twitter fights. Because I didn't appreciate their decorum. You know? So... Actually, they lacked any decorum. Never mind. I retract that. They had no tact. They had nothing. They had no manners. Just a bunch of angry woke people tweeting and, you know, trying to get backpats from blue sky people. And you know what made me so happy about the fall of their game? They literally pandered, like, to the point of parody. They pandered everything that Twitter and Blue Sky wanted in the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game, and no one from their camp bought the game. They pandered so hard, and all they ended up doing was piss off lifelong Arkham fans that didn't buy the Suicide Squad. You can't plan better revenge than that. So they pandered their little hearts out to try to appease the modern audience, and those freaks didn't even buy the game. They had to... The game was so bad, they had to give it away for free. Oh, talk about... That's karma. The Suicide Squad game bombed so bad, they have to give it away for free. And they couldn't even give it away for free. No one wanted it. And then they took to Twitter and they were like, the reason the game failed, it's all because of, like, all the hate and stuff. It's like, yeah, all the hate that you directed towards your fan base. Duh! The only ones who were toxic and, like, you know, trying to own the fans was Rocksteady. And then they did this, like, when their game was failing and they were laying off people and stuff like that, those weirdos took to Twitter and they're like, you know what? If it wasn't the toxicity of the fan base, Suicide Squad would have been more well-received. It's like, but you had so many toxic things in the game, making fun of people who literally had been playing since 2009. Like, who does that? That's just messed up. It's like, what did you have against all these, like, that's not how you make returning customers. I don't know if these people ever attended, like, Business 101, but that's just a big no-no. You know? It's like, what? How, like, I'm really, like, I want to know, how did they think that was going to go down? Like, that's the, like, some of these people that are ex-Rocksteady people now that worked on the Suicide Squad, I really wanted to know how them being bullies would have equated to sales. You know? It doesn't compute to me. Like, how does acting like a jerk help your business? I don't think it would. I think people would remember that and be like, huh, well, I remember good times when Rocksteady did this, but I also remember their, you know, PR stuff for the Suicide Squad, and unfortunately I played the Suicide Squad, so I remember the dialogue and the bios and all the character assassinations and the slights towards long-term fans and making fun of, like, people that liked Harley Quinn's outfits in the original games and basically calling them, like, perverts and degenerates and stuff like that. Like, how did they think being a bully would make fans want to keep supporting their work? Like, I don't understand how that... Like, what delusional land were these activists living in that they thought that, hey, if we're bullies, people will, you know, they'll respect us and they'll buy our product. No, they won't. They'll remember you and they'll avoid you like the plague. Like, why would they? Nobody likes a bully. You know? I can't think of, like, anyone who likes bullies. I'm sure you guys don't like bullies. I hate bullies, personally. I saw that entire woke movement as a bunch of bullies. And for the most part, they were. So, you know, I had them pegged at the get-go. That's probably why I hated them so much, is they acted like bullies. They did bully tactics. They thought that they were on the right side of history, and they were on the wrong side of history. And they kept, like, they never learned from their mistakes. They just, like, you know what? If we keep bullying people and we keep, like, bullying game developers and forcing them to do what we want, eventually they'll do what we ask them to. And it's like, what? No, because the more you bully people, they're going to hate you. That's just common sense, right? You would think, it's like, I don't understand how so many people lacked so much common sense the past, like, 5 or 6 years. That's why I came up with a perfect analogy last night when I was playing that fighting game. Like, basically, Cobra got in charge of the game industry, like doing a G.I. Joe reference here because this is a great illustration. Cobra convinced the entire world that they were good, even though for years people saw that G.I. Joe were the good guys. They had convinced the world through gaslighting and lying and all kinds of things that G.I. Joe was the bad guy. And even though G.I. Joe had, like, traditional family values and, you know, they were patriots for their country and all this other stuff, they were now seen as the villain in society because Cobra, you know, Cobra looked like it was cool. Everybody wanted to join Cobra. Basically. And if you were a G.I. Joe, well, then you're a toxic male. I think that's the perfect analogy of what happened over the past, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, is Cobra had convinced the world, or some of the world, that G.I. Joe was the villain the whole time. And yes, G.I. Joe did fight Cobra all the time, and, you know, common sense prevailed for the longest time. And eventually, you know, the Joes, like G.I. Joe, started to get, like, you know, ground back in society. Common sense is making a comeback and stuff like that. But Cobra is still at it. Cobra's still conniving and convincing people that they're the good guys. Even though, here's the thing. You want to know how I knew those people were evil? The tactics that they used were not what good people do. Good people don't bully people. Good people don't threaten people. Good people don't dox you. Good people don't swat you. Good people don't do evil acts and then act like they're the victim after they've committed an atrocity. They don't get people fired. They don't stalk people. They don't make hit lists. This is what all the woke people did. So I was against them from the very beginning because I saw their tactics were that of villains. And you know me and my obsession of, like, good versus evil, so I was against them from the very beginning. Because I was like, wait a minute. If they're on the right side of history, why are they incorporating evil tactics? Like, what's that about? Why are they acting like villains and saying they're the good guys? And it's like, they're Cobra. That makes sense. Because Cobra at one point said they were good when they were bad. So that's how I viewed it. I know it's kind of simple terms, but I think it's a perfect illustration. Because that's how crazy the world went. Up was down, down was up, left was right, all kinds of stuff. Everything was backwards. It was like, if any of you guys were young enough to play Skate or Die, there was a mode that you could play Skate or Die and make it much harder called Goofy Foot. And if you played the skating game on Goofy Foot, it was impossible to play. Only the crazy people put it on Goofy Foot and then tried to beat Skate or Die. It was impossible because the controls were all backwards. Everything was reversed like a mirror. That's what happened to society, is society was flipped like a mirror for like 6 years. And now we're finally starting to go back to normal. But it took people to actually have courage to stand up to bullies. Because you want to know what bullies have been telling people for years? If you stand up to a bully, that makes you a bully. That's the rhetoric that they were using. If you say anything against us, you're bad. You know? So eventually people stopped getting scared of these weirdos, and they're like, you know what? I'm standing up for what's right again. Myself included, the reason why I got into the fight, I was like, you know what? We can't allow these people to thrive and control society the way they've been doing because they're the bad guys. We need more good people to stand up for what's good, what's decent. You know? That's why I got involved. Is because I was tired of, like, seeing everyone get pushed around by these people. How they bullied Japanese people and called them all kinds of nasty names. How they, you know, messed with game developers and put some of them in bankruptcy. How they attacked television. How they attacked people's religions. All kinds of stuff. Like, it just wasn't... It wasn't something that I could just sit back and be like, you know what? I'm not going to get involved. When they swatted me, that's when I got involved. Because, like, alright, now I'm in this full time. It's like, you rang the bell. I was waiting for you to ring the bell, and now I'm in this fight, you know? It's like, I'm sitting on the sidelines, I need a reason to get involved. They came after me, and it's like, alright, it's open season. That's pretty much how it happened, too. I did not really get involved until they tried to basically game over me, man. And then I did get involved. Heavily. Yeah, of course I did. But before then, I only talked about it like tongue-in-cheek. I basically made fun of the whole movement and stuff like that. Because the only way that you can get a bully to back down, ladies and gentlemen, is you have to stand up for yourself. You cannot just let a bully be a bully and say things like, hey, if you hit me, then you're a bully because... you can't hit me. I can hit you. I can push you down. You know, I can do this and that to you. But if you try to stand up for yourself, you know, you're worse than me because you're making more violence. You're escalating violence is what they say. If you teach your kids to defend themselves from a bully, there's a generation of people saying, if you teach them how to fight or you teach them self-respect or something like that, you're creating a bully that's going to be an even bigger bully than the bully they're dealing with. Because all they're going to do is know violence and stuff like that. But the whole thing about self-defense is not violence for violence sake. It's to defend yourself from when violence happens. It's a cause and effect. It's not, okay, I know how to do martial arts, I'm going to go beat people up. You know? Martial arts teaches you things about, like, not doing that kind of stuff. You know? You're supposed to defend people who can't defend themselves. That's what martial arts is. That's how I learned it. And even when I got in a Twitter fight with somebody, this one person who was a Taekwondo person told me that, well, if you defend yourself, you're fighting. It's like, it's a fight now if you defend yourself. It's like, so, if a guy is messing with me and he punches me, and I retaliate and I knock him out, it's considered a fight? And I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting. Because, I mean, I don't see... If I knocked him out, how is it a fight? He's not, you know, retaliating anymore. He's unconscious. It's like, I don't understand how that would, you know, how that would work as a fight. Usually, in a fight, you need two people to continue fighting. If one's already knocked out, it's not really a fight. But anyway, when you see bullies telling people to leave bullies alone, like just to let their kids be picked on and stuff like that, you know that something's sus. Because that, no generation should be teaching their kids, it's okay for people to pick on you and hurt you. Like, you have to teach your kids how to defend themselves. Either with their words or with their fists. Because that's the only way it's going to stop. And this is somebody, you know, like, I was bullied in school, so I know what I'm talking about. Until I stood up to my bullies, they never stopped. They just kept doing it. And once I stood up to them, never happened again. There was always different bullies in life, but, you know. Because bullies, like, deep down, they're cowards. Why do you think... Here's another analogy. Why do you think when you confront a lot of woke people on Twitter that call us anti-woke and all this other stuff, why do they private their Twitter and run away? Every time these people are confronted, they run away. Why? Because they're cowards. What happens when you confront a bully 9 times out of 10? The bully retreats. Why? The reason why he picks on people is deep down he's a coward. Do you see how they incorporate the same tactics? Isn't that interesting? Food for thought. But anyway, we got a couple gold bricks in this episode. I don't remember how many gold bricks we started with, but we're at 89 gold bricks now. And we unlocked a bunch of characters. We have 106 out of 150 minikits, so we got a long way to go for minikits. We have a long way of saving civilians. And now I need to download Viva Pinata and get that started. The game may crash if you run around the city as the Flash. It used to crash on Wii U. For the life of me, though, I can't remember. Did we cover Lego Batman 3 on Wii U, or did we do it on PS3? 4. I'm pretty sure we played it on PS4, even though it released on the Wii U, but I have a copy of it on the Wii U. Maybe it was a contest giveaway, I don't know. The internet is like the colonies versus Earth and Gundam? Yeah, it kind of is, yeah. It's still possible we might get the long Halloween. I don't know. We might get... I mean, how many skins are left, though? Didn't they say that Batman's only going to have, like, 30 skins or 40 skins? And, like, all the other characters are only going to have, like, 10? 10 each, and there's 100 skins in total. Batman's going to have the most skins. How many skins have they announced so far? That tells you how many skins are left. Right? Is The Long Halloween one of my favorite Batman stories? It's pretty good. I like Gotham by Gaslight. I like The Long Halloween. I like Hush, like the comic, not the movie. I don't like the movie. The comic run of Hush is phenomenal. I like Bruce Wayne Wanted. I like Nightfall, part of it. I don't like what do they call it? Night's End? Nightfall is 3 arcs. Oh! Right, sorry. It goes Nightfall, Knight's Quest, Night End. I like Nightfall and Knight's End. I did not like Knight's Quest. The Knight's Quest stuff where Jean-Paul is going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, I did not like. I didn't enjoy reading that stuff as a kid. I liked Contagion and Legacy. I liked Cataclysm. I liked a lot of Jude Winnick stories, but I can't remember the names of them. And Chuck Dixon didn't have a lot of, like... He had some major arcs, but he had a lot of, like, small 2 or 3 issue comic, stories that I can't remember the names of, but they were very good. He did a lot of that. So he did big arcs every once in a while, and then he had small mini arcs that many people don't remember. But if you can, like, you know, read his entire run, you'll run into some, like, interesting, like, Batman doing, like, detective stuff and going after serial killers, and he went after a wife beater in an arc or something like that. There was a lot of stuff. He helped out some orphans. But I don't have all the Chuck Dixon books. And I have a couple collections, but sometimes when you read the collections, what I wish they would do, when they do, like, these big author collections, that they would include the comics that are connected to that story. Because what happens is when you get these big collections, they're not actually combining all the stories into one book. So if you happen to get a story that you want to see continued, you're going to have to track down that solo issue, and good luck with that because it's been 30, 40 years or something like that. So I wish what they would do in printing companies, and I'm not talking big arcs, I'm just talking in general, because what makes American comics different than manga is you'll be reading Batman, but to continue the story of the issue you were just on, like Batman 340, you need to get Detective Comics 1342 in order to follow up with this story, because there are characters from Detective Comics that are going to have a big role to play with the story that started in the Batman books. Then you're going to have to go to the Robin issue 75 to continue what happened in Batman 1032. And the thing is, they don't always include those in the collections. So it's like when you buy these collections, these you know, beautiful, like, comic things, they're missing parts of the story. So you'll get really interested in a story, you're reading it, and then it's the next issue of Batman, but it's not the continuation of the story. I hate that. I've never liked that as a kid either. And that's besides, like, all the, you know, activist nonsense in comics, that's also a big problem with American comics, is it's very confusing to follow a comic arc, because it doesn't always, you know, stay in that book. It's still a Batman book, but now it's Detective Comics, now it's Birds of Prey, now it's Nightwing, now it's Robin. So that's one thing that I've never liked about American comics, personally. And especially if you're trying to collect the comics, then it's like, oh, now I'm going to have to get the Detective Comics collection to find out what happened to this story. And then you read Detective Comics, it's like, now I got to get the Robin collection. And what issue was it in Robin? Has that even released as part of a collection? Ow! Link, what are you doing? I'm more of a Batman Year One than I am a Dark Knight Returns guy. I liked Dark Knight Returns, but Frank Miller really messed up the whole Dark Knight books too. Like, the Dark Knight Returns stuff is phenomenal, it's great. It's the stuff that comes after I don't like. The stuff after gets really, really weird. That's the nicest way I can say that. It gets really, really, really weird. Link, I'm scratching my legs because I have neuropathy. Don't scratch me, please. What didn't I like, Lorray? I don't like how when you buy a comic book, and when I was a kid, you would buy a Batman book, and you would get really interested in a story, and it would be continued in another Batman book. And then next month, even if you're subscribed to Batman, the story that you were reading in the previous issue is not going to be continued in the next issue of Batman. You have to get Detective Comics or Shadow of the Bat or Robin or Nightwing or Gotham City Sirens or whatever. You have to admit that's how they make money. Do they though? I used to be a long-time comic fan, like a comic pull lister person, and most people I knew didn't like that practice, even back in the 90s when I was having like Batman, Robin, and Nightwing books like coming to my house as part of a subscription. Like most of my friends didn't like that, and they weren't always buying. You know what they would do? Back in the day, we used to be able to go to places like Barnes and Noble and like Book Barn, and I don't remember some of the other ones. And we would just read the Detective Comic issue. We wouldn't buy it. And be like, oh, well, I guess the story wasn't that good anyway. I had to, you know, read this Detective Comic thing. And just go to a comic book store and just read it. Stay in the store. And then you'd buy something else. I mean, we used to do that a lot. And because we did that so much in the 90s, eventually bookstores started to put all comics inside of, like, plastic covers. But that was our rebellious phase. Is most people my age back then would go to a comic book store or a Barnes and Noble or whatever, and you would read comics and buy. If they had like a coffee place, you'd buy a coffee or like a like a donut or whatever they were selling. So that way you didn't feel guilty about just staying in there and reading books all day. But eventually comic book companies got smart. I think it was like by 2006 or 2008, and they started putting all new comics inside of plastic covers. So you wouldn't be able to unseal it unless you bought it. So, yeah. I did not read a lot of Transformers and G.I. Joe comics back in the day, no. Nope. But anyway, guys, this has been fun. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm going to get your next stream started, which is Viva Pinata. And I'm going to get something to eat. Thank you for the super chats. You guys are breathtaking. The stream also got 1,000 views, so Batman will continue. Tomorrow will be a preview, or I don't know what I'm doing with that Tamagotchi thing, but it'll be like a preview of it. And then on the 16th, or tomorrow or the 16th? The 16th, we have early access to Pragmata. So Batman will still have a role on the channel. It just, I don't know. I'm going to look at the new stuff plus play Batman. That's the plan, because Batman gets views. And the new stuff, well, new stuff always struggles. Which sucks, but, I mean, the algorithm is nasty, so. Alright, guys, I'll see you on Viva Pinata, which is the mystery stream. So, surprise! That's what the mystery stream is. Okay. See you guys over there. God bless, happy gaming. See you in a bit.